Hey guys, welcome to The Strong Young Man. Being dumped by a woman can leave you heartbroken, with an empty space in your life. Coupled with the loss, you will have acquired a lot of free time, which can amplify the feelings of loneliness. You can cause great problems for yourself if you permit yourself to be consumed by the negative emotions that cascade from this loneliness. Being in this state is extremely unhealthy. You can very quickly sink into emotional quicksand, and once stuck, it can require great strength to pull yourself out. So how do you get out of the rut you're in? And where the fuck do you start? Today I'm going to give you a 5-step process to getting over a breakup. Here is your roadmap. Step 1. Get out of the rut you're in. Get on your feet, soldier. There are much better things to have at the focus of your life than women. I don't believe any man should ever shed a tear over a woman. I hope that most men have built up enough value to realise that when a woman leaves you, she loses. This won't be the case if your woman was the focus of your life. If you were joined at the hip to your woman, investing all of your happiness into the state of that relationship, then you are now faced with a big problem. I covered the perfect antidote to this in episode 24. You should never invest more than 40% of your happiness into any one area of your life, including your significant other. If you overinvested into one woman, then you need to work out the essences of your life that bring you happiness and invest more time into these activities. Your happiness will be a byproduct of the success achieved in these other areas of your life. In addition, you also may need to make a new area of your life that brings you happiness, a hobby, a new responsibility, a side hustle, joining a club, or more self-improvement, to name a few. Find a purpose and let it consume you. Don't allow yourself to get bitter and resentful. I've gone over the dangers of becoming bitter in episode 84. Never ever kill yourself over a woman. Don't think that you sacrificing your life will serve to torment her. After she breaks ties, she feels minimal empathy towards you, and killing yourself over her will have a negligible effect on her emotionally. Doing this will never inflict the same emotional trauma on a woman that a woman killing herself over a man would have on you. Women have evolved to be able to move on very quickly from men. This is because the evolution of our species has naturally selected for human females with the capacity to easily detach from emotional investments. This trait proliferated to combat the rapid changes in mate selection experienced during the brutal Paleolithic era. For a greater explanation as to why our ancestresses evolved with this capacity, I expanded on the history and the psychology behind this phenomenon in episode 33. Additionally, you also have no idea of what is in store for your life. No survivor of a suicide ever regrets not performing lethal force once out of their depressed state. Step 2. Go no contact. After a breakup with someone, you should move away from that person. Ignoring their existence is the best way forward. Ghost them entirely if possible. Delete her number, remove her from all your social media accounts, and avoid situations with mutual friends in which you could see her. In order to fully mourn the death of that relationship, all emotion towards that person must die. You must treat the death of a close relationship like the death of a family member. Many of the stages of grief applicable to death are jarringly similar to the death of a relationship. Treat your ex as if they are dead to you and cut all contact if you are able to do so. Being around them will not serve your purpose, and it will not add any value to your life. If you acknowledge your ex after a breakup, you will still be attached to the emotions of that relationship. If you experience pain from the breakup, it will be drawn out longer and you cause more problems for yourself. Don't be hateful towards them either. Hate means you still feel some sort of emotion towards them, and so you are still emotionally invested in that person. Remember, I said that all emotions towards your ex, positive and negative, must be killed off. Indifference is your only strategy. The opposite of love is not hate, it's indifference. L-E-V-Z-L. Indifference will communicate how unworthy that person is of your attention, and this will come across as powerful. Understand that while you no longer have a relationship with a woman, you can still serve a purpose for her. She may want to keep you around as a memento of what she once had and how she feels superior for rejecting you. This will be at your expense, so you shouldn't give her this satisfaction. Sometimes it just isn't possible to cut ties with your ex. Maybe they work with you, maybe you need some time to separate assets, and maybe you have children together. Whatever the case, the principle is the same. The entity of the person should be dead to you, and you should kill off any emotion you feel towards that person. Limit the contact to the bare minimum, and don't serve any of her interests that aren't enforceable by law. Most of the interactions that occur by being tethered to someone are almost always avoidable over the long term. You don't even have to talk to your ex when dropping your children off at changeover, for example. Ironically, when you move away from her, it's likely that she will start to feel more attraction towards you. Your ability to be independent, coupled with the mystery of what you're up to, might just reignite her arousal. She may even try to insinuate her way back into your life. This is dangerous for you. You must not take the bait. Don't go back to an ex for any reason, period. I detailed why in episode 21, and as a summary, it's a time where you are both emotionally charged and are desperate to fill the void. I understand with the history and the emotional attraction that it's easy to fall back into old habits, but you must resist the temptation to go back to an ex. Another reason for not going back to an ex is that it's likely that she broke up with you for a better option. If this option falls through, it's likely that she'll try to extend the olive branch back to you, capitalising on your vulnerability. If this happens around 28, be doubly careful. A woman re-entering the sexual marketplace at 28 is likely to be shocked when she realises that it's not the same marketplace that it was when she was 24. A diminished ability to lure an attractive mate may see her return to you for long-term security. A woman's motives in this instance are never pure, despite what convoluted reason they give for the breakup. She may even consolidate on you temporarily to satisfy her financial security until she can line up someone who satisfies her emotional security. Step 3. Reflect on your mistakes. Apply critical thinking and implement the root cause analysis that I outlined in episode 54. Determine the cause of the breakdown of the relationship and other gaps in your knowledge of intersexual dynamics and work to close them out. Remember, an inferior man blames others, but a superior man blames himself. If you were the one getting dumped, then you drove her away. Understand that as a man, you need to provide a woman with value to qualify for her long-term exclusive commitment. You need to consistently satisfy a woman's requirement to a standard that meets her expectations. Briffault's law states that where a female can derive no benefit from association with a male, no such association takes place. Even though a woman has accrued past benefits from her relationship with a man, this is no guarantee of her continuing the relationship with him. On a balance of probabilities, it is likely that she disqualified you for one or more of the following reasons. 1. Your financial situation changed for the worse. 2. Your social status changed for the worse. 3. You failed to provide her with sufficient emotional security or any other unique in-depth desire. 4. You lost control of the frame, dynamic, or balance of power of that relationship. Refer to episode 51 for more details on frame control. 5. Your sexual essence evolved over time to exhibit more feminine qualities, which threw out the psychosexual balance. Refer to episode 36 for more details on masculine and feminine energy. 6. What you brought to the table, the basis for the initiation of the relationship, disappeared or was sourced more economically elsewhere. 7. You failed to live up to the financial or social potential that you indicated you were capable of when you were younger. She expected you to unlock your potential by a certain time at the beginning of the relationship, and that time has since expired. 8. A new requirement came along that she deemed you responsible for meeting, and you failed to do so. Examples of this include having kids that require a higher income, or the ability to provide her with a luxurious lifestyle to compete with her friends. 9. Her looks, the primary basis of her sexual market value, increased, and she was able to attract a higher value man. Note that this is only relevant to women under 23. 10. She found a better option, and she monkey branched over to him. She kept you around long enough to finalise a smooth transition. Monkey branching was explored in depth in episode 7. Women will often check out of a relationship several months prior to a breakup. She will remain with you until she can attain independence or a new financial resource, at which time you serve no further benefit to her. The planning involved to pull this off is duplicitous and unethical, but a woman relies on a man remaining oblivious to this ability. Note that if you cheated on your ex and she found out and then subsequently broke ties, this is never the real reason for the breakup. A woman will tolerate a man stepping out on her in a relationship as long as his value is high enough in other areas. If your woman broke up with you after finding out this infidelity, then it's likely that your value is not high enough for her to tolerate this. Step 4. Don't commit to anyone for 6 months. Also detailed in episode 21 is that you should be single for 6 months and take the time required to process through the stages of grief. Don't go jumping into a new relationship during this time. Instead, remain single and just date women casually. This is so you have time to learn to be by yourself and adjust to your own company. This will also ensure that you have sufficient time to complete step 3 and work through some of the issues that contributed to the failure of the relationship. Step 5. Work on yourself. Literally every single episode I make is a distillation of thousands and thousands of self-help books that will shortcut your road to becoming a high-value man, and it's all for free. I'm going to use this opportunity to shamelessly plug in my channel. Use all the self-help information available on The Strong Young Man and from the books in the reference section of my episodes to become the master of your destiny. Stop making excuses for yourself and start owning your life today. Thanks for watching today's episode. In episode 133, I'll detail why high-value men have a monopoly over the dating market. Subscribe and click the bell icon to be notified when it drops. Catch you then.